Good morning, Twitch.tv. Good morning to YouTube as well. And, of course, good morning, Mini Motorways. We are off to Tokyo for today's daily challenge. We will have double bridges and half road tiles. And, well, I mean, I guess that balances out. Does that balance out? I don't think that balances out, game. I think that's just mean. I think it's just rude because, like, I want to pave this island, and we're going to try, but with the half road tiles and the absolute stone-cold ironclad knowledge that at some point there are going to be pink or beige or rose-colored houses way the hell over here, and then a pink or beige or rose-colored business way the hell over here, and you're going to need to connect the two. Double bridges doesn't really make up for half road tile. Okay. Alright. You know what? It's fine. My eye itches too much to argue with you. Also, my eye itches a lot today. That's unfortunate. I put in eye drops, and mostly what those do is sting. So, I want to tell you about a failing of the internet. And me. Like, we're going to frame this as a problem with the internet, and we're going to acknowledge up front that if I was a different and better person, I wouldn't be in this problem. We're going to acknowledge that, and then we're never going to mention it ever again. This is the internet's fault. So, first of all, this blue is going to come over this way, and we'll do this. Get these two to serve that business. That'll be fine. Okay. So yesterday, I had a job. I was working. And I was in Albany, New York, which, for those of you who know where the _Goog is like an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes away. It's a trek. It's like 85-something miles. So we go, we do the job. It's fine. It's good. It goes well, whatever. 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Get out of the job, and I'm heading home. And, it's 4 o'clock. I had lunch before I left. I had lunch on the way, rather. It's not dinner time, but, I need gas. I want to get some Powerball tickets because the Powerball jackpot is high enough that I can, pay for the entertainment value of fantasizing about what I'd do if I won the Powerball. So that we're going to pretend justifies purchasing a Powerball ticket. That sort of thing. By the way, yeah, we're doing this to get this pink on the road going into this business. This isn't, great or nothing, but it'll be fine. Hello, Nora. Nora just jumped up on the desk next to me.
Hear ye, let the record show that this viewer was here first.
And Peter S19 was here first. Good morning, Peter S. Or I suppose afternoon. Peter S is one of our many European friends. Let's see here. You go down that away, and this pink will hurn. This pink will hurn, huh? Well, yeah, okay. We'll do garbage of this sort. I guess we'll do garbage of this sort to get pinks and blues working together to bring over this way. All right. So it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I want to stop, and I want to, I have to get gas anyway. Oh, crap. Stupid, non-quickly paved island. All right, well, this yellow house now has a private island all to itself. We're just doing that. If we need to, I can hook up a motorway or something, but hopefully we won't ever need to. My point is, I stopped at the gas station, and I got myself a Diet Mountain Dew, because of course. And I also got myself an energy bar, like a protein bar. Because, it's healthier than a candy bar, right? It's got similar amount of calories, but, instead of being loaded to the gills with sugar and containing trace amounts of nougat, depending on the candy bar. Some candy bars contain more than a trace amount of nougat. Instead of being a candy bar, a protein bar is like a candy bar, except it tastes worse and it has protein in it, like a fuckload of protein. Like this had like 20 grams of protein in a thing that was shaped and styled and ostensibly flavored like a candy. So that's nice. That's good. We'll take ourselves a couple of bridges here. Not worth passing those up for an extra 5 road tiles. So I have the protein bar, and I don't want to shout out this brand because I'm about to dunk on this brand, but, you know, and listen, if I say that this brand's protein bar tastes bad, and then later this brand approaches me for a sponsorship deal, well, it would be awkward. So we're just not going to say the brand, and if they should happen to reach out, well, I'll take their money. Listen, that depends on the money. There are limits to how much corporate shilling the _Goog is willing to do, particularly for this particular protein bar brand. My point is, I have the protein bar. It's yummy. It's flavored like a maple glazed donut, and it doesn't, really taste like a maple glazed donut, but it tastes more similar to a maple glazed donut than you would expect a fucking protein bar to actually taste. Hey, you remember when I said that there would be a pink or beige or rose-colored thing over here and a pink or beige and rose-colored thing over here, and we would be overfucked because of the traffic and the road tiles? Well, that exact scenario has played out. Take motorway number 1. We'll run it this way. I'll yawn. Hold on. Oh, God. All right. You come over. No, I just yawned, motherfucker. Ow. So I have my Diet Mountain Dew, and I have my maple glazed donut protein bar, and it tastes good. It's tasty. It's not, a literal maple glazed donut, but it has, fewer calories than a maple glazed donut, and more protein, and is like a healthy and filling and reasonable, almost meal-shaped snack. Good thing. And I'm like, hey, this is tasty and yummy. I could do with having more of these. It wasn't horrendously expensive, and I betcha if I was to buy, say, a bunch of them on the internet, god damn it. If I was to buy, say, a bunch of them on the internet, it would be less expensive on a per unit basis than if I was to buy them individually. We'll get these beiges going over here to support this beigeness in this direction. I have exactly 0 road tiles to get me through the rest of the week, but hey, it's Wednesday. God, if I could stop yawning, that would be amazing. So I have this candy bar. Well, this protein bar. And it's yummy. And I think to myself, I could have more of these. These are tasty. They're probably cheaper if I buy them in bulk. The internet exists. I have the Amazon app on my phone. I know what I'm going to do. So I do indeed, safely and carefully, of course, quickly purchase a case of these protein bars. A small case. It's not like I'm outfitting a convenience store for a month or anything. But, a bulk purchase of protein bars is made at my direction. And the e-tailer of choice, which, because this is where we go for impulse buys of terrible things when we're bad people, is Amazon. Amazon says, sure thing, boss, we'll get you them on Friday. And it's like, okay. I could have sworn I paid for Prime, but all right, fine. I guess that works. And I'm mildly annoyed because I want them sooner. But, it's the 21st century. If this is the worst thing that happens to us, we're basically fine. And then a couple of hours go by. And would you know, get home, sit down, do, post-job work type stuff. And after about 90 minutes or so, I'm like, I don't feel so good. I wonder why I don't feel so good, and I feel a little rumble. And I realize that my tummy hurts. And listen, the underscore Goog is a large, comically oversized, giant economy-sized person. Tummy trouble just kind of comes with the territory here. At the same time, when you have a thing that is outside your normal food consumptions, and then a scant 90 minutes later, your tummy rumbles and gurgles and hurts, you realize, oh, maybe that didn't agree as much as I thought it did. Oh, that's unfortunate. Hey, wait a moment, I just ordered a case of these. Fuck. So I had this, hey, wait a moment, I just ordered a case of these. Fuck moment. And I went to cancel the order because, hey, listen, if I was able to place the order on an impulse in 5 minutes, surely, given that it's not to be delivered until Friday, I can cancel this order. Right? And as you may have guessed, despite the fact that I was able to place the order on essentially a whim, and despite the fact that Amazon will not be able to deliver the order until Friday, I went to cancel the order, and they were like, oh, we're sorry, this one's already in process. If you don't want the stuff, you can refuse delivery. You'll still pay for it, but you won't get it. So now, I have a case of protein bars, which may or may not make my tummy all gurgly, to be delivered to my house on Friday. Sad. This has been a story of the faults and foibles of the internet in the 21st century, and certainly not at all a reflection on the Goog as a person. Why would you think that? Alright, so we've got this business way the hell over here. And we don't really have any blues anywhere near it. Like, we've got these way over here, but for one thing, there's no great way to get these blues over here. I would have to use 3 bridges, I think, because I'd bridge to here, and then we can't really get through or around here, so we'd have to bridge over this to here, and then we'd have to bridge to here, and then it would come over here. And oh, by the way, in addition to using 3 bridges, that would also use like 85 road tiles, and I don't presently have 85 road tiles. So that's a problem. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna restructure motorway number 1. We're gonna have these blues here. The 3 of these are gonna loop down this way. Then we're gonna work with these beiges and this road here in a way that I haven't quite determined. So don't think we can actually... Wait. Yeah, I don't really have the road tiles to actually properly do this. Oh, more beige. Oh, more badness and beigeness. Okay. Oh, balls and pants. Let's take 15 road tiles. Yes, I did just pass up a motorway. Okay. Let's do this, actually. We're gonna loop all of these beiges in together like so. They're gonna come over this way and then over this way. Wait, hold on. Well, if you just go there, then, Okay, I understand now. This is horrendousing, but if we do traffic light here, and we do traffic light here, we can do whole bucket of road tiles going off this way. And now, I need to get pinks over here, and I have 7 road tiles. So, need to find 3 somewhere. Where can I save? Oh, that's 2. 3. Okay. So now we have all of these beiges, rose golds, whatever color you want to say that these are. They come down this way. They come off of this main drag. There's a perfectly cromulent traffic light right here, which gets them into this plaza. Or they can come down here. There's another perfectly cromulent traffic light, which loops them up into this circle. Or they go straight down here into this square thing. That sort of kind of works. There is the small matter of, well, there's this business, for one. That's not great. We don't necessarily love that. Let's see here. Yoop. Yeah, finding out a dude is already married kind of puts a damper on an engagement. It would be bad. It's the kind of thing you'd like to know. Ideally, you'd like to know it even, before the engagement, but, details. See, I have 6 spare road tiles now, which isn't enough to just straight shot this to here. I would need another 4. So, kind of want to figure out a way to... I could just do this, which is ucky, but maybe effective. It's possible that might just be effective. And listen, if you want to be effective, I'm not going to complain overly much about it. I'm certainly not going to be a fan, but we don't necessarily have to be fans of things. We can just acknowledge that they're functioning and move on with our lives. And I think that may be the vibe, at least at this moment. We're going to acknowledge that that's functional, and we're not going to talk too much about the aesthetics or the beauty or the purpose of it. It functions. That's what matters. Let's take a motorway and consider how best to use it. And given that we have this light blue business over here, which is currently doing nothing, drop motorway number 4 off to there, and away you go. Well, maybe that's what it is, Sonny. Maybe they just create the cultural impression of background checks and personal deep investigations and all of that, so as to create fear in the scoundrelous, liarly sort, and so that if they are truly engaged in another relationship, they wouldn't dare fill out that form because they know what happens. The government fucks them over. When really what happens is they receive the form. They wait a few days so as to sell the lie that they're investigating stuff. And then they go, well, he submitted the form. Nobody would submit the form if they're actually lying about shit. Rubber stamp! I now choose to believe, incidentally, that anyone who actually rubber stamps things says exactly that line whenever they give it their rubber stamp of approval. They just, make sure it's all inky and liquid and such, and they haul back and go, rubber stamp! And they bash the stamp down so as to give their consent. It's exactly what happens. Can't prove that it's not. Let's take these purples right. Yeah, this purple is fine. We're going to put you onto you. We're going to pull you over here. This purple business like so. needs additional assistance, so we shall supply it. All right. This purple business is fine. Eventually, this pink is going to be okay. This blue circle needs perhaps a little bit more love. I said perhaps a little bit more over here. Hi there, an additional pink. What am I supposed to do about you, comma, an additional pink? How am I supposed... What do you want me to... You're a big old jerkwad, an additional pink. I don't know how we're gonna solve that problem. That's a massive, significant existential problem that we can't even wait until Monday and hope we get a motorway about. Okay. Well. Uh-oh. So we've got pinks down here. I have 11 road tiles. Is there a motorway I can steal? Maybe? Not really. Like, well, if we move motorway number 1 such that it terminates here, and then go like that, that will leave us with 1 road tile. Because we'll need to connect here. Alright, so I need to find 1, 2, 3, 4 road tiles from somewhere. Alright, give me 4 road tiles from somewhere. There's 1. Can I pull some of these? I could. Nope, those are in use. Can I pull any of these? Nope, those are in use. Those are in use. These are the ones I'm drawing. I could pull that one and that one. Okay. We might be onto something if, this is a big and mighty if, we can get motorway number 1 all situated before this pink business dies. Going to involve this blue house having to get, this blue car rather, having to get all the way back over to here. Alright, so you go, and the pinks are dead. Sad. Took too long. Realized the solution too late. Business died. A shame. 1,699 commuters over 84 days. It sure is a score. Is it a good one? Doesn't feel like it. Top 10% in the world, though. I mean, we take top 10% in the world. We don't necessarily take 3,300 trips worse than. Yeah. Okay. All right. Fine. No, that is not a GG. That is a drop those samurai slams in the chat. Oh boy. All right. Here is the word. Oh. It hurts. The Wordle today, as we all know, is skunk. It's a terrible guess. It's an awful, awful first word. It is not skunk. It is, however, broil. Yep, it could be broil. Thank God we got something. So there's an L in the word somewhere. Where? Wonderful question. The word is lathe. Perhaps it's lathe? Man, I saw that green L, and for just one tiny little moment, I thought I had nailed it. And then it turned out I had not, in fact, nailed it. So, the word is llama. There we go. That's more like it. So I figured it was llama after I saw lathe, because I was looking and there was no other vowel. Like, if it can't be A, all right, is it E? No. I? No. O or U? No. Motherfucker. It's an L and then another consonant, and the only L and then a consonant word I can think of is llama. So that was some decent detective work by your friend the _ Goog. We still solved the Wordle in 4, so, you know. They're not pinning a medal to my chest or nothing. For today's time guesser, we start at what appears to be Roland Garros. It's a clay tennis court. Where do they play tennis on clay? Lots of places, actually, but most famously the French Open. Also, we have signage here for Le Banque Nationale du Paris, which probably means it's in Paris. So, we have to figure out when we are, and man, I don't fucking know. I think this guy here might be Novak Djokovic, but I'm not 100% sure of that. Because, listen, you could put Novak Djokovic in a lineup full of tennis greats, and unless those tennis greats were dudes who were playing in, like, the 90s, I wouldn't know. And that's just because the dudes who were playing in the 90s all look old. Or like Andre Agassi. Andre Agassi just looks like Andre Agassi because he was bald. My point is, I'm only reasonably certain that that's Novak Djokovic, and I have no idea who this motherfucker is. So, yeah, we're going to have to use context clues somehow. Oh, hey, if I was to look up at the scoreboard, it would tell me. Well, it would tell me the players. So neither of those is Novak Djokovic. One of them is a gentleman by the name of Dumulf, and the other is Koretia. All right, so Koretia here is serving. We're going to assume that he's serving, despite the fact that he's trailing in the match, actually. Mr. Dumulf is doing quite well for himself. The 6'1", 6'4", he's got advantage. Good job, Dumulf. All right, when are we here? The names Koretia and Dumulf don't actually mean anything to me, but I sure do enjoy saying Dumulf. Oh, God. All right. You don't actually say what the date is, which is unfortunate. We're on NBC Sports, which sort of gives us a time frame just based on their logo, if nothing else. You know, we're not going to glean too much from the lack of cell phones in the audience. This camera feels pretty 90s. Yeah, I don't know. This could easily be 2002. This could theoretically be 1992. There's a non-zero chance that it's 2022. I don't effing know. We're going to go to Paris. We're going to find Roland Garros, which is presumably in Paris. I don't actually know that. It's not in downtown Paris, obviously, but you know, this is a tennis place in France. And if you're in France, you might as well start in Paris and work from there. Oh, boy. Where would you be, Roland Garros? I have no idea. This is kind of a problem, I think. So there's your airport. And there's another airport. And there's Bretigny-sur-Orge, which, no. Saint-Quentin et Envolny, which is almost what that says. And, Oh, the Marines are here. That's bad. Don't care for that. The fuck is Roland Garros? No idea. Could blindly stumble all over this map, or we could say fuck it and toss a pin and move on with our lives. We're gonna say fuck it, toss a pin, and move on with our lives. This is 2004 for reasons. Up top, yeah, it's probably okay. So this is Alex Correttia. Mr. Correttia just lost against Mr. DeWolf. I see. It was 1997. And it turns out that Roland Garros is like within spitting distance of the Eiffel Tower. Good job, tennis place. Next, we've got an airport of some kind. Interesting. All right. Are you QE2? I think this might be QE2. Hi, Lizzie. Well, that helps. And this is Radio Trinidad. Hold on. I think maybe I have an idea. I have an inkling. I've had a thought. Don't hold me to this or nothing, but I suspect. Yeah, this is an exceedingly 1950s photograph. Also, where the hell is Trinidad? I know it's next to Tobago. That doesn't help in this context. There's Guadalupe and Martinique. Ah, there's Trinidad and Tobago. All right. So, now the good news is, ow. My nose itched. All right, so this is the Biarco, something like that. Riarco. This is the Riarco Airport, which, oh, you know what? I bet it's Piarco. There we go. So what we got to do is we got to find the entrance place of, yeah, we're basically, what, here? Figure folks would approach from here and they, yeah, okay. So we'll do doot. Unless you're like that way, speaking to the runway. Maybe there's an assembled throng on the runway. We'll go there. That'll be fine. So we're basically there, and the question is when. And it's an exceedingly 1950s photograph, and this is quite a young QE2, so we're going to say 58. It was 55. Also, it was on the other end of the airport. Okay. We still take those. Next. This is Fleet Week sailors marching down Queen Street, Auckland, 11B. Oh, it was Princess Margaret, not actually QE2. Okay, whatever. Same thing. They're the same lady. You can't prove they're not. So we're in Auckland, specifically Queen Street. Thank you, you photo scribbler. The question becomes when. Feels 1930s? Possibly. Quite entirely conceivably. Is this automobile? No, this isn't. These aren't cars, are they? No, actually, they are. Okay. 30s might even be late. These are 20s mobiles right here. So, yeah, we are in Auckland, New Zealand, on Queen Street, in 19 Dickety 7. Yeah, it could be Dickety 7. It's a shame that you didn't just scribble the Dickety right there. I swear I don't say these things intentionally. They just come out of my mouth, and then I'm like, wait. So we're in Auckland, New Zealand, which is over down this way. We got to find Queen Street. Am I supposed to know when New Zealand gained its independence? Was it presumably before 1957. Also, oh hey, there's a television program in New Zealand. Good to know. Let's see here. I thought, no, that's Quay Street. Unfortunate. And, yeah, you're definitely marching down Queen Street. Gross. Do we want to spend an hour trying to find Queen Street here in Auckland? No? Well, that's reasonable. That's fair and understandable, and I support it. We are, in fact, we're going to pretend that this road here is Queen Street, which it might be. I haven't seen any indication that it's not, actually, unless Quay Street just makes a hard left, which would be weird. But, yeah, we are right there, actually, in 1917. We were, in fact, not terribly far from there. Hold on. The map very clearly said Quay Street. I feel aggrieved. But it was 19 Dickety. All right, fine. Whatever. Next. Hi there, Scandinavia. What manner of Scandinavia is that flag? Is that Denmark? I think that might be Denmark. I'm sort of kind of a person who recognizes Scandinavian flags. I think that one's Denmark. We're going to operate under the assumption that that's Denmark until and unless Sonny says, actually, Goog, that's Finland. You know, because of the fish. I don't know, man. All right. This might be like a famous Danish lady. For all I know, they're shooting that incredible Danish movie, The Lake of My Farmhouse, which, I mean, this is a weird-looking farmhouse, but, you know. Oh, the flag is Norway. See? See? I'm only sort of a person who recognizes flags. All right. I don't think we're going to get year out of anything other than cars and vibes. So, based on cars and vibes, I'm feeling 1959. Actually, maybe I'm feeling don't move that at all. 1962 doesn't seem horrendously wrong here. Yeah. Yeah, the cars are maybe a little bit. Yeah, just because they're from the 60s doesn't mean they're all brand new. So this could be more like 1966 or 8 or something. Yeah, okay. Let's find a reasonable, tiny little lakeside place in Norway in 1968. That's conceivably possible. All right, so we're not in Oslo because we're not in like a downtown big city type place. So, fuck it, man. Let's throw a dart at... Whoop. Upon request, we shall zoom in and deeply examine these automobiles. We got a red van with a cute little face. And basically the same thing in 6 different colors because that's how they made cars in the 60s. The world's most awful looking bus, and a proto Volkswagen Beetle. Alright. We are gonna say that we are here in 19... Nice. We were... God! I shouldn't have moved the thing. I said don't move the thing, and then I talked myself into moving the thing. Sad times. The good news is we're basically locationally correct. Next. Oh, hi. That's the Washington Monument. This, I believe, is Monticello? No, Monticello was like an estate. I think this is the Jefferson Memorial? That sounds... conceivably possible. Could be wrong about stuff. These are, hey look, a literal actual Volkswagen Beetle. So we're probably a little bit more late 60s, perhaps even early 70s. I suppose we can figure out when. No, you don't have like an expiration date or nothing on your thing, my guy. Okay. Maybe 63. This feels very 1963. All right, so, I mean, geographically, we're going to get pretty damn close. We just got to figure out exactly where. Like, we start from the Washington Monument, and then Yeah. Yeah. This right here, the Jefferson Memorial. Okay. So if we're looking at it so we're basically here, right? Because we could look at the Jefferson Memorial in the foreground and then have the Washington Monument in the background. Yeah, we're basically like there. Okay, so we're basically like there. Yeah, we're basically here. As to the when of this, man, I don't know. This car feels very 50s. This feels very 50s. These are obviously 60s. Last time it was Don't Move the Thing, so it's probably not going to be the same year back to back, so we're just going to oojle the year, and it was 1970, actually. All right, fine. 42,360 feels like a pretty damn good score, in all actuality. We take those. For today's Immaculate Grid, we need Tigers and Red Sox and Blue Jays and Angels and Dudes What Played Center Field and Dudes What's in the Hall of Fame. All right. A Toronto Blue Jay who also played for the Detroit Tigers is David Price. It's a factual statement. Detroit Tiger who played center field is Covelli Lois Crisp. I think Coco Crisp was a Tiger, among other things. He was not. Also, they have this new thing that says you can complete your grid no matter how many guesses it takes, because people get sad when they fail. Which, I mean, true. But also, fuck. I may or may not take advantage of that, because sometimes I truly have no idea ever, so... This was an instance of me being dumb and bad, to be clear. But, all right. Detroit Tiger who played center field is Austin Jackson. There we go. That's a more reasonable, actual, factually correct statement. A Boston Red Sox player who played center field is Lee Tinsley. Dude who played center field and is in the Hall of Fame is, I don't know, they probably stuck Larry Walker in center field one time. They did indeed stick Larry Walker in center field one time. Didn't go well, but, you know, they did it once. An Angel who is in the Hall of Fame is Rod Carew. A Blue Jay who is in the Hall of Fame is, I don't think Carlos Delgado's in the Hall of Fame. Roger Clemens is not in the Hall of Fame. He is, however, a dude who played for the Blue Jays and the Red Sox, so we would say him. However, I just remembered that Shea Hillenbrand played for the Blue Jays, so we're going to say Shea Hillenbrand instead. Shea Hillenbrand, former teammate of Roger Clemens. How about that? Toronto Blue Jay, who's in the Hall of Fame, is a good, fair, and reasonable question. I don't think the Hall of Fame kicked Robbie Alomar out, despite him being, you know, a tremendous shitbag. So we're going to say Roberto Alomar, despite, again, tremendous shitbaggery. Now then, dude who played for the Red Sox and the Angels is Jerry Remy. Sunflare Space is off for gardening. Enjoy it. This is our final score on the grid, but we can take one stab, and this is going to be my rule here. We're going to take one stab at all the ones we didn't get a chance to for situations like this. We're not going to sit here forever and be like, eventually I'll name this dude. That's what we do already. All right. An Angel who was also a Tiger is Bobby Higginson. I actually feel like Bobby Higginson was a career Tiger. So, a dude who played for the Angels and also the Tigers is Edwin Jackson. There we go. That feels functionally, factually, it's incorrect. All right. Alas, we didn't. Oh, Torrey Hunter. Okay. Well, we already had one shitbag. So, Tory Hunter, unless I'm misremembering something, less of a shitbag on the grand global cosmic scale than Roberto Alomar, but it must be said, a shitbag nonetheless. A shitbag nonetheless would be a decent title for the episode, but I think we're going with Scribble the Dickety. Folks, that is going to do it for today's edition of Good Morning Mini Motorways. I shall be back tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock Eastern for another episode, unless, of course, things go bad, which, they might. Things can always go bad. This is a fact of life, really. For the folks on YouTube later today, there's a new episode of Cyberpunk 2077. I shall return again once more tomorrow morning for another edition of Good Morning Mini Motorways. Until then, I hope you have a lovely and joyous and wonderful day. And this is the end screen. Bye.